Hey, what's up, guys? Hayden Panettiere tragically passed away at the age of 36 this past weekend. I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't really too familiar with her. I'm not a fan of her works, so there's not really a video more so about her and eulogizing her. It's definitely tragic when a young person passes away, and apparently, according to reports, she passed away due to an overdose. With her, I believe her boyfriend was there with her, and her brother was sleeping in the room. A lot of her issues with her family and with stardom has been well documented. But since she passed away, one of the videos that a recent interview that's been circulating is of her expressing a tragic situation that she went through when she was 18, and when she was offered up as a sex slave, as a sex sacrifice to a well-known producer, and how that really wrecked her life. And even 18 years later, how it affected her. You could see in the video, and I'm going to share it in a little bit. You can see in the interview how this still had an effect on her. And I'm not going to sit here and try to play, conspiracy theorist and talk about how this was, we see online how people believe this was the Illuminati. She was sacrificed for exposing the Hollywood elite. That's not where I'm going to go with this. Not trying to downplay it or say it's not true, but this is not the purpose of this video. Because as a pastor, as a Christian, as a man of God, you see things from a different perspective. And I think sometimes we get so lost and so caught up in different theories and posts and rage baiting that we forget it's a human being. So what I see is a person hurt and suffering, a person who is suffering the effects of stardom. One of the things that I know about any type of worldly success, any type of like Hollywood musical success, a lot of times it requires you paying a cost, right? And you have to decide if you're going to pay this cost. You're going to have to decide if you're willing to pay what it's going to take for you to be successful. It may be time with your family. It may be who you are. There could be other dark and sinister things that may be at play as well in terms of the cost that you have to pay, where you sit and you have to, do sexual acts or take drugs or, whatever that may be. And these things are also well documented, but being part of these young Hollywood circles is going to cost you something. Like you would see stories about folks that were on a Disney Channel or different Nickelodeon and how jacked up they are now because of the cost they had to pay. And that's a tragic byproduct of what people have to do. And the crazy part about it, even the Bible talks about the cost. That Christ said, listen, a wise man before he takes on a project considers the cost. So a lot of times folks are aware of the cost that it's going to take, but yet they're still willing to pay because they want to be rich and famous so bad. And now once they're out the limelight, once they transition from being a childhood star to now being a full-fledged adult, where they're in their 30s and 40s, they have to deal with the consequences of the cost that they were willing to pay. So this is, again, something that's well known and well documented. But I want you to watch this clip from this interview, again, from 3 months prior to her death, where she just talks about the effects of this incident of becoming a sex pawn for the Hollywood elite.
Lion in me, that fire in me, that my hair stood on end, and I became ferocious. I was like, this is not happening. But I had nowhere to hide, and I bolted, and I hid wherever I could think of to hide on a boat. There was no jumping off and swimming away, and there was nobody who was going to, I realized that there was nobody who was going to be empathetic to my situation, that this was nothing new to them.
I mean, that sounds it's such a horrifying event to go through and to be put in that position at 18 years old.
And disappointing when somebody lets you down like that. And I've been let down so much before, and that when you really find somebody that you trust, like, you hold on to them for dear life, and you feel so.
As you can see, like when I watch this video, the pain that she is going through is so tragic. You could tell that she's someone that is really affected by what she experienced over almost 20 years ago. That what she went through still is weighing upon her. She seems so heavy. She seems so weighed down by the incident that happened to her on that particular yacht. And now it seems like she's going through it. And I don't want to sit here and theorize that this is why she, overdosed, why she was on drugs. Don't want to say that. Don't know her that well, and I don't want to put that upon her. But I do think it is obvious that some things were weighing down on her. And when I see that, it reminds me of the fact that you could have all the accolades and all the money and all the films and songs, but these things cannot fix the voids in our heart. Like, we sit here and think, if I had more money, I'll be happier. And then you have more money and you're still unhappy. This is why you have people who are millionaires and billionaires who are depressed. You have folks who are successful, like Robin Williams, a successful comedian, but couldn't make himself laugh to the point where he had to kill himself due to depression. And we could take it on a smaller level. You have people who are in regular jobs. You have people who are just trying to get a promotion and do more and more and get more degrees and get more education and get more titles just to fill a void. And when they get to that particular plateau, when they get that degree, things don't get any better. So I think it's hard for us. It's important for us to put things in proper perspective. And the church is not immune. Well, you have pastors who preach a good word on Sunday, but then kill themselves on Monday. That you have pastors who are sitting here and ministers who are sitting here preaching and leading people to God, but they are battling depression. They are battling drug use. They have vices that they are holding on to. They have pride issues. They have low self-esteem. They have all these things, but yet are at a place where, they are used by God, but yet still have a void in their lives. Like, we need to do a better job of realizing and understanding that these things don't matter. That the pain that you have, the thing that's weighing you down, accolades is not going to fix. Because if you look at her, she seemed like she was very successful. The reason why kind of like what was brought to my attention was of course, anyone dying young is sad, right? It's a human being at the end of the day. But how this affected so many people of so many backgrounds and races, colors and creeds, it shows how much impact she has had. And to know someone that was so impactful, so successful, but yet still empty. And it shows that many of us are in the same exact way. Where we're sitting here, we're pursuing jobs and titles, we're pursuing money, we're pursuing more houses and more this and more that, with the expectation that we sit here, if I have this, I'll be happy. For some, it's not a job, it's marriage. I'm sad now. If I find me a wife, if I find me a husband, I will be happier. And you find a husband, you find a wife, and you're still empty. So we need to learn that it is important for us to put the priority on the right thing. All these things that you're pursuing, all your titles, all your degrees, your homes, your cars will not leave with you on this earth. When you leave by yourself. And the most important thing that you need to focus on is a relationship with God. Because God is the only one that has the ability to fill those voids. Not saying don't be successful, not saying don't pursue degrees, but our priority needs to be pursuing God. I wish we could go just as hard pursuing our degrees as we do pursuing Jesus. I wish we went just as hard pursuing the houses, the husband, the wife, the ministry, just as hard in pursuing Jesus Christ, where all of our energy and efforts are going to these things and we forget about Jesus Christ. All of our efforts and energy is going to us to achieving and making more money and doing more of this, but don't have time for prayer, don't have time for your word. So this shows me that these things that we are pursuing will not fill the void. The only person that can fill that hole in your heart is Jesus Christ. And maybe in this case, if she spent more time pursuing Christ, that this pain will go away. Again, I don't know her. I'm not casting any aspersions against her. But I do want to use this as a teaching opportunity to let us know, focus on Christ. The hole in your heart, that void that's in your life can only be filled with him, because that is why we're insatiable. We're never satisfied. We're never content. We achieve, but still want more, because what we're looking for is not found in this world. Our priority needs to be Jesus Christ. Our priority needs to be finding him. And too often we put all our energy, we put all our might to the wrong thing. It's tragic to see someone hurting for 18 years about something. As well, she should hurt. What happened to her was tragic. What happened to her was jacked up. You feel me? Like what happened to her was not right. So I could only expect her growing up holding on to that pain and that feeling, and how she explained she had nowhere to turn, no one to empathize, right? No place to hide but on a boat, right? So I could only imagine how she feels, and many of us are her. It may not be something as grand and as great. We still have things that we are holding on to. And we think the more that I do, the more I preach, the more I lead worship, the better I'm going to fail. And you do these things, you do this thing, great job on Sunday, but then on Monday, you're still broken. You still want to kill yourself. You still hate yourself. Like the solution that the world needs is in Christ. Because Christ is the only one that can satisfy us. Our jobs can't make us happy. Our having more cars and more sneakers and more homes is not going to satisfy us. It will give us a quick little hit. But to truly satisfy us, we sit here and we smoke weed. We sit here and we get drunk. We're alcoholics. We're sitting here and we do drugs and things and go back and smoke cigarettes. We have sex. We sleep around thinking that these things will be the things that will help us get through what we going through. And then we get those things. We go through it and we're not happy. Put emphasis on what's important. Right? Even outside of Christ, right? Though Christ is all, but just even on a more practical level, spend time with your family and friends. Spend time making memories. Spend time hanging out with your boys. Have events, have parties, do phone calls, spend time with your children. Just spend time. That overtime is always gonna be there. Those bills are always gonna be there. I'm not saying be irresponsible and and not pay your bills. But the thing that I'm saying is allow yourself to be at a place where you sit here and you put emphasis on Christ. You put emphasis on your family. Because that's what matters. What makes you rich is not money. It's family. Your friends. Those are the things that make you rich. Those are the things that you can hold on to and say, yo, because I have this, I'm rich. When I see people who have great families and spend time with their kids and spend time with their wives and their aunties and uncles, they're rich. Those that spend time with Christ, who are growing in Christ and spending time with him, they're the rich ones. Money come and go. Money can't fill you up. Christ can. So spend time with what matters. That's the point of this episode today, is focus on what matters. Because all these things that we are pursuing and we're emphasizing cannot help us out. Trust me, because you're going to achieve it. You're going to preach a good sermon on Sunday and may kill yourself on Monday. I've seen it happen. That these preachers preach a word, lead great mega churches, do a great job for the Lord, but then end up killing themselves. So I watched this video in this young lady, and you know, I see a soul. I see a person. I don't see a celebrity, right? I don't see a sinner or a heathen or someone. No, I see a soul. And I think there are many folks who are out there who are going through the same thing. That you're battling something, you're holding on to something, and this is affecting you down the road. And what we try to do, if we sit there and don't apply it, don't try to find a job or find it to success to cover it up, we just keep it on the inside. How many folks you know are just holding on to things? They're angry, they're bitter, they're resentful. Why? Because of something that happened to them years ago. Because of something that happened to them in an old church, in their families, when they were children. They hold on to that stuff. And as they hold on to that stuff, and it carries on, like it becomes a part of them. That they're comfortable being angry and bitter. And you can't maintain friendships or relationships. You can't approach Jesus Christ because you're holding on to something your dad did, or your mom did, or your old pastor did, or your uncle did, or your auntie did. So we sit here and instead of trying to find things to cover it up, we just hold on to it. That's just my cross to carry. Nah, you don't have to carry your cross. We're not built to carry our cross. This is why we get weighed down with stuff, because we are not created to carry our own weight. The Bible says, Christ says, come, all those who are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Christ wants our problems. Christ wants our issues. Christ wants our trauma. Christ wants our pain. But we don't want to give it to him. This whole grind culture, this suffering culture crap, where it's a badge of honor. If I don't sleep, if I get a breakdown, that's a cool thing. Nah, that's dumb. Christ said, listen, give me your issues. Give me your pain. He says, when you are weak, then I am strong. But how can we sit there and see the strength of God if we don't want to admit that we're weak? That I need help. That I'm hurting. I get it. I've been through it, man. I'm a man, right? A Haitian man. We're stubborn. Caribbean men are stubborn. You know what I'm saying? I got this. I don't need no help. But you do. I realized I did need help. I need to talk to somebody. I need to admit that I need help. I've given it to God. God has given me the right people around me. An amazing wife, amazing friends. So it's okay to say you need help. Stop trying to internalize everything. Give it to God, and he will give you rest. So when I see this story, when I hear this story, it's tragic. And I pray that no one else goes through what she went through. That holding on to such pain and trauma, that it would affect you into her last days. This joint was done 3 months ago. And she was still captured, being held hostage by this, bound by this. As well she should. I understand it's very tragic. But try Jesus today. And give him all your pain. And watch what God will do. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. I appreciate it. I love you guys. God bless y'all. Peace.